morning, America. This is the Hump Day edition of the Morning Update with yours truly, Rick Robinson. We're right here on KLRNradio.com. We do have a lot of things going on, but we're going to take a break from a lot of the stuff in the news because I have to have a heart-to-heart talk with you guys for a second. I have to back up to this whole New York abortion bill because it took me some time to wade through this thing, but it is absolutely insane. The thing that tore my heart apart the day that the bill passed was seeing the World Trade Center being lit up in celebration of now children being able to be ripped out of their mother's womb up until the very last second of birth based on how this bill has been written. Now there's no protection for the unborn should they be murdered. There's so many things that have been changed by this law that nobody's even thinking about. They're removing some of the requirements to make sure that these abortions are in fact safe, legal, and rare, which is actually demanded by Roe v. Wade. Now, please do not get me wrong. I am not one of these people that thinks that we should go back to rusty coat hangers and back alley abortions, but at the same time, we're talking about murder. Now, I understand in certain circumstances, maybe we have to decide which life is going to be more important, and I don't want to be the one making that decision, because my wife and I have already made that decision several times. We have several children, because we've decided that we were going to have, that, you know, whatever came our way, we were going to have children. So it's hard for me as a father to look at these bills that have been, or this bill that's now been passed in New York, and now the bill that's being looked at in Virginia, of all places, and be able to stay silent on this. I need you guys to understand something. Before my children came onto the world, I was a selfish individual. I didn't understand what it meant to put myself or put someone else before myself. I really didn't. I had been in relationships and I thought I understood what it meant to love somebody, but I didn't understand how much I could actually love somebody and what my capacity for love was until the first time that I was holding my firstborn son or my firstborn daughter, because I have sons and daughters. And it's something that you can't ever, you just don't understand. And it doesn't always happen right away. I've talked to other friends that were like, man, for the first couple of months my kid was alive, all I wanted to do was run out of the room screaming, because all they did was they cried, they pooped, they ate all the time. It was a constant struggle. But then there was this one time where they smiled at me for the first time, or where they looked at me for the first time, and I could see that they connected with me, and it was like everything changed. And from that moment forward, they were the center of my universe. And I can't understand how we could live in a world where that can now be just snuffed out, all because for the sake of inconvenience. And I'm really not trying to say any of this out of malice, and I'm not trying to say it in a tone of taking it lightly. I'm seriously trying to understand how this is okay, because the left has said from day one they don't want abortions on demand all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. What they want is for abortions to be available enough and for the stigma to be removed to the point where people aren't actually having to get abortions. But now in this law in New York, they've made it to where you don't even have to be a doctor to perform the abortion anymore. They've removed a lot of the health and safety concerns that were passed in previous legislations. And now again, basically all the mom's got to do is go to a provider and say, hey, I have a hangnail, and because of that I don't want to have this kid. And if you don't believe me, please take the time to look at the bill. I'm not exaggerating. And that's why we have to decide what kind of country we're going to be when we grow up. Because if we want to continue to be a country that murders our own, then we're on the right track. Sorry, this one's been a lot more morbid than I expected, but this has been
Top of the morning to you.